Think, well, okay, we've apologised on behalf of British Christians for what happened at that particular thing, which was stopping the immigration, but there's other things that happened in Palestine during the British Mandate that we really ought to be considering. And this here in Hebron was one of them. And we realised that in 2009 it would be the 80th anniversary. 80th, that's right, yeah, I did get it right first time. 80th anniversary, maths is no good, is it, Jesse? 80th anniversary of the Hebron massacre. And so we contacted the folk over here, including David, and said that we would want to be present at the anniversary meeting which they have here to commemorate that massacre. We would like to be able to lay a wreath along with others who were doing it. We also wanted to present a plaque which could be displayed permanently to say sorry. And in fact we presented two plaques, because the other one is up in the cemetery, which we won't go to, the weather being what it is, but it's identical to the one which is here. And this one says, and it's actually very similar wording to the wording of the one at Athlete, okay? But it says, "In sorrow and shame, we recognise that officers and the British administration neglected their duty to protect the Jewish citizens of Hebron during the Arab uprising in 1929. Father, forgive us, we pray." And then we have the logo, and then it says, "Love Never Fails, Network of UK Christian Ministries, September the 7th, 2009. The anniversary meeting that year was not held on the anniversary of the date, and I think that was because of the Knesset participation in it, if I remember rightly, that the relevant people they wanted here couldn't come at the actual date, but it was fixed for September the 7th. The main speaker was Reuven Rivlin, who is the speaker of the Knesset, but there were others as well, and we all met here, and we had a ceremony up near the cemetery, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, it was an open air ceremony, and there was a small group of us here from Britain, probably 30. Where's Jackie? 30, something like that. Yeah, we hired a bus to come up from Jerusalem, and there were about 30 of us here who were British. Some of whom were resident in Jerusalem already. Others of us had come over especially for it. And myself and Hugh Kitson, we were the ones who actually, he did the wreath and I did the plaque, if I remember rightly, but presented them to the people here at Hebron. And the reception that we received was absolutely amazing. And the moment that ceremony finished, we were just besieged by Israeli journalists and other Israelis who had come to the ceremony, you know, asking us, well, why are you doing this? And, you know, wanting interviews and goodness knows what else that was going on at that time. We were just totally besieged by it because it made such an impact. We wanted to have somebody here, you know, official, because we're not official. I mean, you know, we're just a group of Christians. We might represent, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000 Christians in the UK, but that is a tiny proportion. You know, I would like to see an official apology from the British government, you know, that this happened. So maybe something to pray for. In due course, we might happen. But we were very warmly received here by the folk in Hebron, and as David mentioned earlier, we showed here the film, The Forsaken Promise. Where we have lunch, that's not yet, don't get too excited, where we have lunch, in the hall above that, there's a large meeting hall up there, and that is where we showed the film, The Forsaken Promise, to the folk who were here. And again, it had a huge impact, that here were Christians who were prepared to look at the British Mandate period through different eyes, if you like, than the official one. And to me, I mean, 10 years ago, I knew nothing at all about the history of the British Mandate, 10, 12 years ago. Nothing at all. Who studied the British Mandate period at school in history? Okay, please, but you did.
No, not at school.
Not in school.
No.
Not in school. So none of us. It was never mentioned in school. Never mentioned in school. Yeah, and that is normal. You know, this is a hidden part of our history which we're trying to bring to the surface so that people can recognise where we've come from. Hopefully, eventually, we will get government backing to say, you know, we made a mess. Not just here in Hebron, I hasten to add, but this was one of the worst.